Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to do a blue eye look for you. My friend Shelly somewhat requested this and I thought, why not? I haven't done blue in a while. Blue is kind of hard for me to pull off. I find that if I don't wear it correctly, it brings a lot of attention to the veins under my eyes. I have some superficial veins and blue just makes it look worse, not to mention the fact that I'm kind of like bluish purple in the inner corner here, which blue eyeshadow also draws attention to that. So it's difficult to wear blue, and so I figure using blue as a liner, I'm just dropping stuff everywhere, using blue as a liner for those of us that have trouble with the color blue is an easy way to wear it without worrying about other things, such as the things that I mentioned. Anyway, so let's get started. I have already done my foundation and my eyebrows. The reason that I went ahead and did my foundation, and I don't think you can tell, I'll zoom in a little bit here so you can see, my under eye area here, and it's not as noticeable because I have foundation on. I don't know if it's allergies or what's happening, but my left eye in particular has been super itchy. If I touch it, it starts itching. So yesterday, without even realizing what I was doing, I was just rubbing my eye all day long. And before I knew it, it looked like I got punched because I have this bag underneath here, and underneath the foundation, it is very blue and sort of purple. So I wanted to film this yesterday. I had to refilm it. I filmed this last week and decided I didn't like it, so I wanted to refilm it. Well, yesterday, it was just, my eye looked so bad. So anyway, I decided to wait until today to film because it doesn't look quite as bad as it did yesterday. Alright, so we're going to start with this color here. This is from Feather River Body. You can use any gray eyeshadow that you have. This one is called Concrete Road. And that's what that one looks like. It's very pretty gray. And then in the outer corner, we're going to be using this one here. It is called Urban Jungle. And that one is sort of like a slate blue color. So I'm putting the gray color all over my lid. Oh, and I did start with a base. I used Camel Coat from MAC. This is what Camel Coat looks like. Again, this is from MAC. Yay, it's focusing. That's what I put down on my lid first as a base. Another really good blue that you can use is the one from the Melt Stack. It's called Fixated. This one is really very pretty too. You could always use that one. Like I said, any slate colored eyeshadow you can use, or not, whatever blue you have. Alright, to apply this, I'm going to start with a pencil brush. And this is going to go right out here in the outer corner, and I'm just pushing it through my crease. And I'm going to use this eyeshadow brush. This is, holy cow, it's a Lauren Luke. Do you guys remember when her brushes came out? Anyway, I'm going to put a little bit more eyeshadow on the edge of the bristles, the tip I should say. Just kind of push that through, and then I'm going to lightly pull up. I find that going into your crease and pulling the color upwards is sometimes a little bit easier than starting with a fluffy brush and trying to get that color into your crease. Sometimes it's easier to just start with a brush like this and pull up. Now I'm taking another brush, a fluffy brush, a clean one, and now I'm just going to go in and buff that. If you want, you can take the slate color and put it right onto your lid, or you can leave it just like how I have it, just above the crease. It's up to you. I find that if you just want to go for a more simple look, you can just kind of leave it in your crease, you know, and lightly blend it. Or if you want to add more blue, you can put it right on the lid. I think for now though, I'm going to leave that blue just right into the crease and slightly above. Now this next part you can get really creative with if you want to. If you literally have no time, you can use a blue pencil. I think it's weird how a lot of people don't use pencil liners anymore. I use I use pencil liners quite a bit. But for today's look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a mixing medium, and I'm going to take a blue pigment. I don't even know if you can get this anymore. My friend Lucy, she sent me so many pigments. So I'm going to use this one here. This one was like a little sample that was sent to her. Any blue eyeshadow that you have will work. I'm going to use this mixing medium. You can get mixing mediums anywhere. This one is from Feather River Body. And you just mix the eyeshadow with a drop or two of mixing medium. So I'm actually going to use the lid here, and I'm just going to put 2 drops in, and then I'm going to take a little bit. So I'm going to take about that much there and put it in the lid here and mix them together. Okay, I have a nice little paste here. I'm going to use an angle brush. Now we'll see how this color is. It might be a little too bright. I might have to darken this up a tad, but we'll see. Might be a little too bright, so what I'll do is I'll go over it with a darker blue eyeshadow. Might be a little too bright for a daytime look. If you have more mature lids, remember it helps to press to get all the little crepey areas filled in with color. That sounds horrible, doesn't it? And obviously doing the wing is optional. Don't have to do that. I just like it because I feel like it helps elongate my eye just a tad. Just a baby wing. I had to shut the camera off because I couldn't find my concealer. So, you know when you watch somebody put winged eyeliner on and they make it just look so easy? They don't use tape or anything. They just go like this and they flick up and it's perfect, and then they come over and it's perfect. Well, that is not always the case for everybody, and I find, especially with eyes like mine, not only in trying to apply eyeliner to myself, but to other people that have eye shapes similar to mine, it can be quite the struggle if you're not going to use like tape as a guideline. So, you know, sometimes like this side, I love how this side looks. This side, I kind of screwed up a little bit, but it doesn't look bad. But now the only problem is that the wing itself is just a little bit on the thick side, whereas this side is a little bit thinner. So this is where the problem begins, going in and trying to get the sides uniform. It can be quite the struggle. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to try to make this side just a tad bit thicker like this side. Wish me luck. Okay, good enough. So now because this is kind of on the bright side and it might be too bright for some of you, you can always go over it with a darker blue. So that is what I'm going to do. Now, I mean, again, if you're in a hurry, obviously this is not going to be feasible for you, but I'm just kind of playing around. But the basic idea is the same, no matter if you decide to make your own eyeliner, or if you use a pencil, or if you just use a regular old gel. The idea is the same, you know, so I just don't want anybody to think, oh my god, I can't do that, that's gonna take me too long. No, I'm just kind of playing, but the basic idea of how to pull the look together is the same regardless as to what kind of liner you try to use. What I'm going to do to darken this up just a tad, I'm going to go over the blue with this color from Charlotte Tilbury. It is called Midnight Seduction. So what I'm going to do is take this 212 brush. Matter of fact, the last time I filmed this, I used this eyeshadow. I'm just taking this brush, putting it right into the eyeshadow, and then I'm going to press it in on top. Getting the wing might be a little bit harder because I made it so thin. So depending on how this looks when I'm done, I might just leave it. Okay, so that darkened it up quite a bit, which I think is probably better. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is curl my lashes and put some mascara on, and I will be right back. Alright, mascara's on. I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of concealing. Now, you know what really sucks? And I have tried lots and lots of powders, many different powders to set my under eye area. The only one I've ever used that has actually set my concealer and kept it in place and kept it from creasing is NARS translucent crystal powder while I'm out. So I have one of two options. I can either order it online and wait a few days, which I'm patient, I don't mind waiting, or I can drive into Savannah and go to that crappy Sephora inside of JCPenney. And like part of me wants to just drive into town and get it, but at the same time, the last time I was in there, and it was actually to buy that NARS Sheer Glow, people just open up live product and test it. And I just don't want to drive all the way there to open up a box of this or several boxes and find that some idiot has stuck their fingers in it. So I think I just talked myself into ordering it online. But anyway, now I'm gonna have to set my. All I wanted to say was that I can't use any other powder. I can, but it won't set my under eye area the right way. And I ended up going off on this tangent. All right, so what I'm going to do now is toss on a little bit of powder. I'm going to use my Rimmel Stay Matte powder. The foundation that I'm using today is not my color. It's actually a Guerlain, I don't know, is it a BB cream? It says Beauty Booster. Is that the same thing? It has a bit of a pink undertone, but I like it so much that I use it, even though it doesn't necessarily work with my undertone. Alright, I'm going to bronze, and I have this palette. I was going to get rid of it. It was in my pile to get rid of, but then there's just quite a few colors in here that I really like, so I decided to keep it. But I've not used any of these really, so I decided that I'm going to start using this. And you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, I've swatched these so many times because I think to myself, man, maybe I'll like it, and then I end up not liking it. Look, it still has the little brushes. I never took them out. So I'm going to use this Chocolate Soleil as my bronzer today. And this is going on the top of my cheekbones. I am not trying to contour. I just find that sometimes this brush is easier for me, because then I can get the bronzer exactly where I want it, which is on the top of my cheeks. I don't want it migrating below. I need to wash this brush because I think there's a lot of color stuck on it. Can you see my forehead? I've used several different bronzers with this brush, and I think it's had enough. It needs to be washed. Alright, I think I am going to use a little bit of blush. Let's try this one. It's called Papa Don't Preach. I don't know if Too Faced makes these still. I'm pretty sure they do the Chocolate Soleil, but as far as any of these blushes go, I have no idea. One is called Sweet Pink, this one is Papa Don't Preach, and then this one's a highlighter called Inner Light. I don't know if they still make them. You guys know I'm not really a blush person, so I don't, like buying blush is not high on my list of things that I need. Or want, I should say, because you don't really need any of this stuff, right? I'm starting to lose some light. I think maybe it is going to storm again. I feel like this is the South spring season. Because if I remember correctly, last year in February, I think it was February, close to the end of February, there was a tornado that went through one city down from us. It scared the crap out of me. I'm like, hurricanes, tornadoes, what did I do? Should have stayed in Ohio. Nothing happens in Ohio. Oh, you know what? I did put a little bit of an inner corner highlight. This one is a silvery color. I felt like I needed some kind of highlight. I was going to do, it's really hard. Like, I feel like it's hard to choose a highlight when you're working with like grays or grayish blue colors. I actually have this one here. It's Reflex Blue from MAC. Let's see how this will look, because this has a little bit of a blue, hint of blue to it, so maybe this will work a little bit better. I don't know. I just needed something in there All right, so Lucy also sent me a ton of these. These are little sample bags of eyeshadows. And I think this one I am going to try and use as maybe a highlight for my cheekbones. So I'm gonna pop a little bit of this. Actually, you know what? The brush I use for highlight is kind of narrow, so maybe I'll just kind of slip it in here. Good Lord. What tint is that? I can't even tell. That's pretty. Let's see, what is that? Oh my gosh, it's kind of like a, I don't know, like a silvery, I don't know, I can't tell. That's not bad. What is this brand? About Face Cosmetics. That must be like a, maybe it's an indie brand. Alright, well, that's not bad. Do I look like I got punched in the face? Alright, I'm gonna put some lipstick on. Right, let's do that. Alright, I'm gonna do Plum Lip Liner. Look at this pathetic little guy. And Blankety Lipstick from MAC. If you guys ever make a mistake with your lip liner or it's just a little bit messy, you can take some powder foundation and a flat brush. This 212 is one of my most favorite brushes. So what you can do is put the brush right into the foundation and then go along the edges. It's a lot easier using powder than it is to use a liquid. You don't really have to spend a whole lot of time moving it around and making sure that it blends. Alright, I think I got it. So we're done. My lips look really 90s, don't they? Do they? I don't know. There. That's better, right? I don't know. Alright, you guys, so that is it. I'm all done. Lip is on. I feel like Plum made it just a little too dark, but I don't know. It's not too bad. And then the eyeballs are not too bad either. I probably got mascara on the liner. I didn't even check. But anyway, please let me know what you think of my look for today. If you have trouble wearing blue and you try this, let me know what you think. Again, I rarely wear blue, but when I do wear it, I usually end up doing something like this because I just find it's a little bit easier to pull off rather than putting blue all over my lid, or even just doing my typical, using my typical technique of, dark and then light. I just feel like this is easier. Plus, it doesn't really close my eyes up too much, so, and it doesn't, wearing it like this, I feel doesn't draw attention to the blue in the inner corner and then some of those surface veins that I have going on. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you try it out. If you're friends with me on Instagram and you try this out, tag me. I would love to see it. You too, Shelly. So, alright you guys, that's it. I am going to go. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you all again very soon. Oh, and if you guys have any requests, please leave those down below. And not just for makeup, for anything. I need some motivation. Alright, bye.